Howdy, poker peeps. This is Sky with Smart Poker Study. I'm going to show you what I do when a bluff doesn't succeed. We're doing this work in Pokertracker 4, so please follow along right now. 3-step process. We're also going to use Flopzilla Pro at one point. Step number 1 is to create a new hand tag. I call mine Bluff Gone Wrong. Go to Configure, Tags, add a new tag, and then select your icon. You can see I have some personalized icons in here, and I use the Watchman icon. Give it the name that you choose. Once you add it, you can now use it in tag hands with it. If you like the icons I use, I got some Mario icons, the Watchman, even Link's sword. You can go to this video, link in the description down below. I show you how to create icons for yourself, or through that video, you can download my icons absolutely for free and import them into Pokertracker 4. Very, very easy process. Takes us to step 2, tag unsuccessful bluffs while playing. And we have an ace-king suited example hand. Let's imagine we're in game playing right now. We open ace of diamonds, king of diamonds in the MP, a cutoff 22-15 caller. A few folds, we're out of position as the pre-flop raiser. 3 deuce 5. We c-bet bluff half pot. Drat, he calls. I wouldn't say this is a bluff gone wrong just yet. The queen hits on the turn. I check. He bets, 10.5 and a 14.7. Pretty hefty bet. And I check raise 3x. I'm really sticking it to him. Uh-oh, he called. Now we're probably getting to the point where a bluff gone wrong. The river comes another queen. And I say, hey, I only have an ace-king. I got to get him to fold. How can I do that? Well, I guess it's going to have to take a shove. And then he has a full stack. I don't even put them all in. And he obviously calls right here. This is a bluff gone wrong. After all, pocket threes, drat. There's no way I could have gotten that to fold. But should I have seen this strength of hand at some point along the way? If that question pops up, go ahead, open up the tag, and then tag it with your bluff gone wrong tag. And that takes us now to step 3, after you have obviously tagged some hands while you're playing. Step 3 is to pull them up, review them, and ask what went wrong. The easiest way to pull up tagged hands is just with the tagged hands drop down. You can see all my different tags are right here. Just boom, select it, and then only those tagged hands will pop up for you. Now, you need to analyze your decisions and consider your options. And when I say options, obviously, right? You raised, but is calling just fine? Or would folding have been better and not bluffed? If you made a bet, would checking have been an okay play? You bet a full, let's take a look at this size right here. I bet half pot, but would 1/3 pot have been better? Then I could follow it up with like a 60% turn barrel? Possibly so, right? So as you're going through and analyzing your plays, think about their player type, the range in the board, their positions, their stack, the pot sizes as well, the bet size that you make, the bet size that they make or that they call. Just consider all the aspects of the hand to analyze if you're making good bluffing decisions throughout the way. And a key question, what are they doing this with? This is going to help you make reads on their range of hands, what they could be calling or raising you with. And also, you want to utilize Flopzilla Pro plus a little bit of hand reading. So you're going to assign a pre-flop range and then narrow it through the streets. I've already done that work with this hand right here. We open raised pre-flop. He called us. I think he has roughly an 11% range right here. Suited Broadway, some offsuit stuff, and most pocket pairs. Remember, he would have 3-bet with a lot of these hands, so I left them out of the range. So when we bet half pot and he calls, we can of course ask ourselves that question, what's he doing this with? So what is he calling? Let's clear the filters. I think he would call with his sets just to slow play. He's not scared of anything, right? He has position. He can control the pot if we check on the turn. There's no need to raise just yet. Is he doing this with overpairs? Sure. Maybe he wants to see no ace, king, or queen on the turn, and then he can start raising us. Pocket pair less than top card? Why not? It's an open-ender. Makes sense to call. No made hand. Here's an interesting thing. Well, before we get to no made hand, I think all of his draws can definitely call. Even his overcards can call. And that brings us to 120 combos. If we hit the tab key, that's already 100% of hands. And I would actually turn on no made hand as well. And the reason why, we just made a standard half pot bet. He looks like a tight aggressive / semi-loose aggressive player. He can easily call with 100% of his range just to bet when we check on the turn. So I think he gets to the turn with 100%. It was the queen of clubs at this point. Once you add that in right here, let's take a look at this. We check. Oh, he bets pretty big right here, but we decide to bluff him 3x and he calls. Whoa, this is the perfect opportunity to ask poker's ultimate question. What are they doing this with? That is a huge call after making a huge, almost 3/4 pot sized bet on the flop. He means business right here. Let's clear the filters. Is he calling right now with his sets? Absolutely. I think he could do that. There's no real reason, no real big need to raise right now, to re-raise it, right? Because we just made a super big raise. That pot's already going to be 80, 121 behind. He could probably get it all in pretty easily with his sets. Now, top pair, I don't think all of these are going to be calling. Once we make that raise, I think we can drop Queen 10 and Queen Jack from his calling range. He's a tight, aggressive player after all. He's going to read absolute strength in this. Yeah, I think he can fold those hands. Calling, okay. I think Ace Queen could probably call. Maybe King Queen and King Queen suited. Let's just put those so that there's some potential hands, semi-weaker hands if we have pocket aces or something right here that he could call with, things that he's kind of questionable, not 100% sure if he's good. So if that's his calling range, and I really don't think he's calling with anything else, he literally has only 25 combos in his range, only top pair, and only sets at this point. Look, our equity, 12%. We got very, very little equity. Another queen comes on the river. Now, what this does, if that really is his range on the turn, his sets just now turn into a full house. His top pairs turned into trips. Are we going to get any of those hands to fold? The answer is no. So this is a terrible shove. This should have just been a check fold on this river. If I would have, been in game actually or actively hand reading him, making reads on his plays, asking that question, what are they doing this with? Easiest check, big bet, fold in the world, but I done screwed up. But I'm really glad that I tagged this hand and reviewed it later on because I learned one valuable lesson right here, asking poker's ultimate question over and over again. But here's another valuable thing that I learned from this hand. Are there any other reason for the mistakes that you made? And I can tell you in this hand right now, I was distracted. In the middle of playing this hand, I was answering emails and then I was going to plan my next YouTube video. And I was just trying to play one table, trying to put in the hours on the felt, right? But I was totally distracted, answering emails and planning the next video. How can I make great reads and great decisions when I'm distracted, right? Other reasons for your mistakes. Maybe you're tired, you're playing too many tables. Maybe you are drunk. It's after work, you've had a couple of beers, fire up the tables. Your decision making is severely hampered with any of these things going on right here. And that's one of the reasons why in the past episode, podcast episode number 528, tip number 6 was to ditch distractions. And this is one of the hands that have really, I guess, crystallized my ditching distractions strategy. In this podcast, I told you there's 3 things that I'm currently now doing. I'm right-clicking on my desktop and then hiding my desktop icons. Actually, even right now while I'm recording this video, I don't want to be distracted by just seeing those out of the corner of my eye. Boom, my desktop is hidden. It's all black in the background here. The second thing I do is my phone, do not disturb. And the third thing is Google is absolutely closed. Not a single web page is open because poker time is poker time for me. Big lesson learned. And this is one of the key hands that taught me that lesson. Now, I do have one recommendation for you. Do this process of reviewing bluffs gone wrong as a pre-session warm-up. This is going to prime your mind for making better steals. After you've gone through 1 or 2 hands using Flopzilla Pro, boom, open up 1 or 2 tables and get back to playing poker, making solid reads, and trying to make great bluffs. Now it's time for you to take action. Please like the video if you like the video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more. Step 2, create the tag. Use it, study your hands, and become a better bluffer. Combate!